Welcome back to Footnotes in Folly, and to the end of King Henry IV, Part 1. I am Pemberton. This is Part 4, and all the plays thread together to one bloody field. We meet Falstaff again, marching toward Shrewsbury with the most pitiful company of conscripts ever mustered. Ragged, starveling scarecrows, he has filled his purse by choosing food for powder, he says, as good as better men. In the rebel camp the leaders debate whether to strike at once, and Sir Walter Blunt rides in with the king's generous offer of pardon. But Worcester, fearing he will never truly be forgiven, hides that mercy from his nephew Hotspur. The prince sends a chivalrous challenge to meet Hotspur alone, and the two young Harrys are set on a collision. And as the trumpets sound, Falstaff stands amid the carnage and asks his great, cold question: what is honour? A word. Oh, can it set a leg? No. Then he wants none of it. The Battle of Shrewsbury is Joiner Douglas hunting the king through counterfeit kings, the prince rescuing his father, and at last Hal and Hotspur face to face. Let us finish it.
Falstaff and Bardolph enter on a public road near Coventry. Bardolph, go on ahead to Coventry and fill me a bottle with sack. Our soldiers will march through. Tonight we go to Sutton Coffin. Will you give me money, Captain? Pay out, pay out. This bottle costs an angel. If it does, take that for your trouble. If it costs 20 angels, take them all. I will answer for the coinage. Tell my Lieutenant Peto to meet me at the end of the town. I will, Captain. Farewell. Bardolph exits. If I am not ashamed of my soldiers, then I am a pickled fish. I have abused the king's recruiting powers damnably. In exchange for 150 soldiers, I have made 300 and odd pounds. I drafted none but solid householders, yeomen's sons, and found out engaged bachelors, fellows who had already had the wedding banns called twice, a crop of soft, warm cowards who would rather hear the devil than a drum, men who fear the crack of a gun more than a frightened hen or a wounded wild duck. I drafted none but bread and butter men, with hearts in their bellies no bigger than pinheads, and they have bought their way out of service. Now my whole command is made up of ensigns, corporals, lieutenants, gentlemen of companies, slaves as ragged as Lazarus in the painted cloth, or the rich man's dogs licked his sores. They were never soldiers at all, but dismissed servingmen, younger sons of younger brothers, rebellious tapsters and ruined ostlers, the scabs of a quiet world in a long peace, 10 times more disgracefully ragged than an old worn-out banner. These are the men I have to fill the places of those who bought themselves free. You would think I had 150 tattered prodigals, just come from keeping swine and eating slops and husks. A mad fellow met me on the road and told me I had emptied all the gibbets and drafted dead bodies. No eye has ever seen such scarecrows. I will not march through Coventry with them, that is settled. Why, the villains walk with their legs spread wide as if they had irons on them, and truly I took most of them out of prison. There is not a shirt and a half in my whole company, and the half shirt is 2 napkins stitched together and thrown over the shoulders like a sleeveless herald's coat. One whole shirt, to tell the truth, was stolen from my host at St. Albans or from the red-nosed innkeeper of Daventry. But no matter, they will find linen enough hanging on every hedge. Prince Henry and the Lord of Westmoreland enter. How now, swollen Jack? How now, stuffed quilt? What, Hal? How now, you mad rogue? What the devil are you doing in Warwickshire? My good Lord of Westmoreland, I beg your pardon. I thought your honour was already at Shrewsbury. Faith, Sir John, it is more than time I was there, and you too, but my forces are there already. The king, I can tell you, expects us all. We must travel all night. Tush, never fear for me. I am as watchful as a cat stealing cream. Distill cream indeed, I think, for your thieving has already made you butter. But tell me, Jack, whose fellows are these coming after you? Mine, Hal, mine. I have never seen such pitiful rascals. Tush, tush, good enough to be thrown about. Food for powder, food for powder. They will fill a grave as well as better men. Tush, man, mortal men, mortal men. Yes, but Sir John, I think they are extremely poor and bare, far too beggarly. Faith, as for their poverty, I do not know where they got it, and as for their bareness, I am sure they never learned that from me. No, I will swear they did not, unless you call 3 fingers depth the fat on the ribs bare. But sir, hurry. Percy is already in the field. Prince Henry exits. What, is the king encamped? He is, Sir John. I fear we shall arrive too late. Westmoreland exits. Well, the end of a fight, and the beginning of a feast suit a dull fighter and a sharp guest. Falstaff exits. Hotspur, Worcester, Douglas, and Vernon enter the rebel camp near Shrewsbury. We will fight him tonight. That cannot be. Then you give him the advantage. Not at all. Why do you say that? Is he not expecting reinforcements? So are we. His reinforcements are certain, ours are doubtful. Good cousin, take advice. Do not move tonight. Do not, my lord. You give bad counsel. You speak from fear and a cold heart. Do not slander me, Douglas. By my life, and I dare defend this with my life, if well-regarded honour calls me on, I take as little counsel from weak fear as you, my lord, or any Scot alive today. Let it be seen tomorrow in the battle which of us is afraid. Yes, or tonight. I am ready. Tonight, I say. Come, come, it cannot be. I am amazed that men of such command as you cannot foresee the obstacles that hold back our campaign. Certain horsemen belonging to my cousin Vernon have not yet come up. Your Uncle Worcester's cavalry arrived only today, and now their pride and spirit are asleep. Their courage is tamed and dulled by hard labor, so that not one horse is even half himself. The enemy's horses are the same in general, worn out by travel and brought low. The better part of ours are well rested. The king's numbers are greater than ours. For God's sake, cousin, wait until everyone has arrived. A trumpet sounds a parley. Sir Walter Blunt enters. I come with gracious offers from the king, if you will grant me a hearing in respect. Welcome, Sir Walter Blunt. I wish to God you were of our mind. Some of us love you well, and those same men envy your great worth and good name, because you are not one of our party, but stand against us like an enemy. And may God defend that I should still stand so, as long as you stand outside the bounds of true order against an anointed majesty. But to my charge, the king has said to know the nature of your grievances, and why you call up from the breast of civil peace such bold hostility, teaching his obedient land audacious cruelty. If the king has in any way forgotten your good services, which he admits are many, he bids you name your complaints. With all speed you shall have your desires, with interest and full pardon for yourself and for these men misled here by your persuasion. The king is kind, and we know well that the king knows when to promise and when to pay. My father, my uncle, and I gave him the very royalty he wears. When he was not 20, sick strong, sick in the world's opinion, wretched and low, a poor, neglected outlaw stealing home, my father welcomed him to the shore. When he heard him swear and vow to God that he had come only to be Duke of Lancaster, to sue for his inheritance and beg his peace with innocent tears and holy words, my father, moved by kindness and pity, swore to help him, and did help him. Then, when the lords and barons of the realm saw Northumberland lean toward him, high and low came in with caps in hand and knees bent. They met him in boroughs, cities, villages, waited for him on bridges, stood in lanes, laid gifts before him, offered him their oaths, gave him their airs as pages, and followed at his heels in golden crowds. He, as greatness quickly knows itself, at once stepped a little higher than the vow he made to my father when his fortunes were poor on the bare shore at Ravensburg. Then, forsooth, he took it on himself to reform certain edicts and harsh decrees that lay too heavily on the Commonwealth. He cried out against abuses, seemed to weep over his country's wrongs, and by this face, the seeming brow of justice, won the hearts of all the people he angled for. He went further. He cut off the heads of all the favourites the absent king had left here in authority while he was personally in the Irish War. Tut, I did not come to hear this. Then to the point. A short time after, he deposed the king. Soon after that, he deprived him of his life, and close upon that, he burdened the whole state with taxes. To make it worse, he allowed his kinsman March, who, if every rightful owner were properly placed, is truly his king, to be held captive in Wales, lying there forfeited without ransom. He disgraced me in my fortunate victories, tried to trap me through spies, scolded my uncle from the council, bored, angrily dismissed my father from the court, broke oath after oath, committed wrong after wrong, and finally drove us to seek this force for our safety, and also to look closely into his title, which now we find too crooked to last long. Shall I carry this answer back to the king? Not so, Sir Walter. We will withdraw a while. Go to the king, and let some sure guarantee be pledged for safe return again. Early in the morning my uncle shall bring him our purposes. And so farewell. I wish you would accept grace and love. And maybe we shall. Pray God you do. They exit. The Archbishop of York and Sir Michael enter a room in the Archbishop's palace at York. Hurry, good Sir Michael. Carry this sealed letter with winged haste to the Lord Marshal, this one to my cousin Scroop, and all the rest to those to whom they are addressed. If you knew how important they are, you would hurry. My good lord, I can guess their contents. Most likely you can. Tomorrow, good Sir Michael, is a day when the fortune of 10,000 men must stand the test. Or, sir, at Shrewsbury, as I am truly given to understand, the king, with a mighty force quickly raised, meets Lord Harry. And I fear, Sir Michael, that with Northumberland sick, whose power was counted on first, and with Owen Glendower absent, who was rated as a strong support for them too, and does not come because he is ruled by prophecies, I fear Percy's power is too weak to make an immediate trial against the king. Why, my good lord, you need not fear. There is Douglas and Lord Mortimer. No, Mortimer is not there. There is Mordache, Vernon, Lord Harry, Percy, and my Lord of Worcester, with a body of gallant warriors and noble gentlemen. And so there is. Yet the king has drawn together the chief strength of all the land, the Prince of Wales, Lord John of Lancaster, the noble Westmoreland, warlike Blunt, and many more rivals in worth, dear men of reputation and command in arms. Do not doubt, my lord, they will be well opposed. I hope no less, yet it is necessary to fear. To prevent the worst, Sir Michael, speed. For if Lord Percy does not prosper, before the king dismisses his army he means to visit us, for he has heard of our confederacy, and it is only wisdom to make ourselves strong against him. Therefore make haste. I must go right again to other friends. And so farewell, Sir Michael. They exit. King Henry, Prince Henry, Lancaster, Sir Walter Blunt, and Sir John Falstaff enter the king's camp near Shrewsbury. How bloodily the sun begins to look over that massive hill. The day itself seems pale and sick with this unsettled weather. The south wind is blowing like a trumpet for its own purpose, and by its hollow whistling through the leaves it foretells a storm and a blustering day. Then let it sympathize with the losers, for nothing can look foul to those who win. A trumpet sounds. Worcester and Vernon enter. Well now, my lord of Worcester, it is not good that you and I should meet on terms like these. You have betrayed our trust, and made us throw off the easy robes of peace to press our old limbs into harsh steel. This is not well, my lord, this is not well. What do you say to it? Will you untie again this rough knot of hated war, and move once more in that obedient circle where you once gave a fair and natural light? Will you stop being a blazing meteor, a prodigy of fear, and a warning sign of mischief opened up for ages yet unborn? Hear me, my liege. For my own part, I could be quite content to spend the last end of my life in quiet hours. I swear I did not seek the day of this quarrel. You did not seek it? Then how did it come? Rebellion lay in his road, and he found it. Peace, chattering bird, peace. It pleased your majesty to turn your favour away from me and from all our house. Yet I must remind you, my lord, that we were the first and dearest of your friends. For you I broke my staff of office in Richard's time, and rode day and night to meet you on the road and kiss your hand, when in rank and reputation you were nothing like as strong and fortunate as I. It was I, my brother, and his son who brought you home, and boldly defied the dangers of the time. You swore to us, and you swore that oath at Doncaster, that you intended nothing against the state, and claimed no more than your newly fallen right, the seat of Gaunt, the dukedom of Lancaster. For that we pledged our help. But in a short time fortune rained down in showers upon your head, and such a flood of greatness fell on you. Through our help, through the absent king, through the injuries of a reckless age, through the appearance of wrongs you had suffered, and through the contrary winds that kept the king so long in his unlucky Irish wars that everyone in England thought him dead. From this swarm of fair advantages, you seized the chance to be quickly persuaded to grasp the whole rule of the realm into your hand. You forgot your oath to us at Doncaster, and after we had fed you, you treated us as the ungentle cuckoo's chick treats the sparrow. You oppressed our nest, grew so huge on what we gave you that even our love dared not come near your sight for fear of being swallowed. So with quick wings we were forced, for safety's sake, to fly out of your sight and raise this present power. Now we stand opposed to you by means you yourself have forged against yourself, by unkind treatment, threatening looks, and violation of all faith and loyalty sworn to us in your younger undertaking. These things, indeed, you have set out clearly, proclaimed at market crosses, and read in churches, to dress the garment of rebellion in some fine colour that may please the eyes of fickle turncoats and poor malcontents, who gape and rub their elbows at the news of noisy upheaval. No insurrection has ever lacked such watercolour paint for its cause, nor gloomy beggars starved for a season of headlong havoc and confusion. In both your armies there are many souls who will pay dearly for this encounter if once they join in trial. Tell your nephew that the Prince of Wales joins all the world in praising Henry Percy. By my hopes, setting aside this present enterprise of his, I do not think there is a braver gentleman alive, more active in valour, more valiant in youth, more daring or bold, to grace this later age with noble deeds. For my own part, I may say to my shame that I have been a truant to chivalry, and I hear he thinks so too. Yet this I say before my father's majesty. I am content that he shall have the advantage of his great name and reputation, and to save the blood on either side, I will try fortune with him in single combat. And Prince of Wales, we dare venture you so, though countless considerations argue against it. No, good Worcester, no. We love our people well, even those we love who have been misled on your cousin's side. If they will accept the offer of our grace, then he, and they, and you, yes, every man, shall be my friend again, and I will be his. Tell your cousin this, and then bring me word what he will do. But if he will not yield, then rebuke and dreadful correction wait on us, and they shall do their office. So go. We will not be troubled now with an answer. We offer fairly, consider it wisely. Worcester exits with Vernon. It will not be accepted on my life. The Douglas and the Hotspur together are confident against the whole world in arms. Then every leader to his command. Depending on their answer, we will set upon them. And may God befriend us, as our cause is just. The King Blunt and Prince John exit. Hal, if you see me down in the battle and stand over me, so be it. That is a point of friendship. Nothing but a colossus could do you that friendship. Say your prayers and farewell. I wish it were bedtime, Hal, and all well. Why, you owe God a death. Prince Henry exits. It is not due yet. I would be sorry to pay him before his day. Why should I be so eager with him when he has not called on me? Well, no matter. Honour pricks me on. Yes, but what if honour pricks me off when I come on? What then? Can honour set a leg? No. Or an arm? No. Or take away the pain of a wound? No. Then honour has no skill in surgery? No. What is honour? A word. What is in that word honour? What is that honour? Air. A fine account. Who has it? The man who died on Wednesday. Does he feel it? No. Does he hear it? No. Then it is insensible? Yes, to the dead. But will it not live with the living? No. Why? Slander will not allow it. Therefore I will have none of it. Honor is nothing but a painted shield on a tomb. And so ends my catechism. Falstaff exits. Worcester and Vernon enter the rebel camp. Oh no, Sir Richard, my nephew must not know the king's generous and gracious offer. It would be best if he did. Then we are all undone. It is impossible, it cannot be, that the king would keep his word and love us afterward. He will still suspect us, and he will find some later fault to punish this offense. Suspicion will watch us all our lives with 1,000 eyes. Treason is trusted only like a fox, which, however tame, however cherished and locked up, will still have the wild trick of its blood. However we look, sad or cheerful, people will misread our faces, and we shall feed like oxen in a stall, the better fed the nearer to slaughter. My nephew's fault may well be forgotten. Youth and hot blood excuse it, and his privileged name helps him. Hair-brained Hotspur ruled by his temper. But all his offences will live upon my head and his father's. We trained him on. Since he learned this corruption from us, we as the source of all shall pay for all. Therefore, good cousin, do not let Harry know the king's offer in any case. Say what you please, I will say it is so. Here comes your cousin. Hotspur and Douglas enter, with officers and soldiers behind them. My uncle has returned. Release my lord of Westmoreland. Uncle, what news? The king means to give you battle at once. Defy him by the lord of Westmoreland. Lord Douglas, go and tell him so. Indeed I will, and very willingly. Douglas exits. There is no sign of mercy in the king. Did you ask for any? God forbid. I spoke gently of our grievances, and of how he broke his oath. He answered by swearing again that he had not sworn falsely. He calls us rebels and traitors, and with proud force he means to whip that hateful name into us. Douglas enters. Armed gentlemen, to arms. I have thrown a bold defiance in King Henry's teeth, and Westmoreland, who was our prisoner, carried it. That cannot help but bring him quickly on. The Prince of Wales stepped forward before the king, and nephew challenged you to single combat. Oh, I wish this quarrel rested on our heads alone, and no man had to lose his breath today except Harry Monmouth and me. Tell me, how did he make the challenge? Did it seem contemptuous? No, by my soul. I never in my life heard a challenge made more modestly, unless one brother were inviting another to a friendly trial of arms. He gave you every honor due a man, dressed your praises in princely language, spoke of your worth like a chronicle, and made you seem greater than his praise by saying praise itself was worth less than you. And, what became him like a true prince, he spoke bashfully of himself, and rebuked his idle youth with such grace that he seemed to command at once the double spirit of teacher and learner. There he paused. But let me tell the world, if he outlives the danger of this day, England never owned so sweet a hope so badly misunderstood because of his wild behavior. Cousin, I think you are in love with his follies. I never heard of any prince given such wild freedom. But let him be what he will. Before night I will embrace him with a soldier's arm, and he shall shrink under my courtesy. Arm quickly. And you fellows, soldiers, friends, think better on what you have to do than I, who lack the gift of speech, can stir your blood with persuasion. A messenger enters. My lord, here are letters for you. I cannot read them now. Oh, gentlemen, the time of life is short. To spend that shortness basely would be too long, even if life rode on the point of a clock hand and ended with the coming of an hour. If we live to tread on kings. If we die, it is a brave death when princes die with us. As for our consciences, our arms are honorable when the purpose for bearing them is just. Another messenger enters. My lord, prepare. The king is coming on fast. I thank him for cutting off my speech, for I do not profess to be a talker. Only this, let every man do his best. Here I draw a sword whose metal I mean to stain with the best blood I can meet in the adventure of this dangerous day. Now a Spurns. Percy. And forward. Sound all the high instruments of war, and by that music let us all embrace, for from heaven to earth, some of us shall never again perform such a courtesy. The trumpets sound. They embrace, and all exit. The king enters with his forces on the plain between the camps. The battle alarm sounds. Then Douglas and Sir Walter Blunt enter. What is your name that you cross me like this in battle? What honor do you seek upon my head? No, then, my name is Douglas, and I pursue you in the battle because some tell me you are a king. They tell you true. The Lord of Stafford has dearly bought your likeness today, for instead of you, King Harry, this sword has ended him. It shall end you too, unless you yield yourself as my prisoner. I was not born to yield, proud Scot, and you shall find a king who will revenge Lord Stafford's death. They fight, and Blunt is killed. Hotspur enters. Oh, Douglas, if you had fought like this at Homedon, I would never have triumphed over a Scot. All is done, all is won. Here lies the king breathless. Where? Here. This Douglas? No, I know this face very well. He was a gallant knight. His name was Blunt, dressed to look like the king himself. A fool go with your soul wherever it goes. You have bought a borrowed title too dearly. Why did you tell me you were a king? The king has many men marching in his coats. Now, by my sword, I will kill all his coats. I will murder his whole wardrobe, piece by piece, until I meet the king. Up and away! Our soldiers stand very well for the day. They exit. Battle alarms sound. Falstaff enters alone. Though I could escape shot, free in London, I fear the shot here. Here there is no scoring except on the head. Soft. Who are you? Sir Walter Blunt. There is honor for you. No vanity here. I am as hot as molten lead, and as heavy too. God keep lead out of me. I need no more weight than my own guts. I have led my ragged fellows where they have been peppered. Not 3 of my 150 are left alive, and those 3 will go to the edge of town to beg for the rest of their lives. But who comes here? Prince Henry enters. What, are you standing idle here? Lend me your sword. Many a nobleman lies stark and stiff under the hoofs of boasting enemies, and their deaths are still unrevenged. Please lend me your sword. Oh, Hal, please give me leave to breathe a while. Turk Gregory never did such feats in arms as I have done this day. I have paid Percy. I have made him sure. He is sure indeed, and alive enough to kill you. Please lend me your sword. No, before God, Hal, if Percy is alive, you do not get my sword. But take my pistol if you like. Give it to me. What is it in the case? Yes, Hal, it is hot, it is hot. There is something that will sack a city. The prince draws out a bottle of sack. What, is this a time to joke and fool around? He throws it at him and exits. Well, if Percy is alive, I will pierce him. If he comes in my way, so be it. If he does not, and I willingly come in his way, let him carve me into slices. I do not like such grinning honor as Sir Walter has. Give me life. If I can save it, good. If not, honor comes unlooked for, and there is an end. Falstaff exits. Alarms sound. Soldiers rush across another part of the field. King Henry enters with Prince Henry, Lancaster, and Westmoreland. Please, Harry, withdraw yourself. You are bleeding too much. Lord John of Lancaster, go with him. Not I, my lord, unless I were bleeding too. I beg your majesty, press forward, or your leaving the fight will alarm your friends. I will. My lord of Westmoreland, lead him to his tent. Come, my lord, I will lead you to your tent. Lead me, my lord? I do not need your help. God forbid that a shallow scratch should drive the Prince of Wales from such a field as this, where stained nobility lies trampled underfoot, and rebel arms triumph in slaughter. We are wasting breath too long. Come, cousin Westmoreland. Our duty lies this way. For God's sake, come. Lancaster and Westmoreland leave. By heaven, Lancaster, you have deceived me. I did not think you had such spirit in you. Before, I loved you as a brother, John. Now I honor you as I honor my own soul. I saw him hold Lord Percy at sword point with stronger courage than I expected from such an unripe warrior. Oh, that boy gives courage to us all. Prince Henry exits. Douglas enters. Another king. They grow like Hydra's heads. I am the Douglas, deadly to all who wear those colors. What are you who counterfeit the person of a king? The king himself, Douglas, who grieves at heart that you have met so many of his shadows and not the true king. I have 2 sons searching the field for Percy and for you, but since you have fallen on me so luckily, I will test you. Defend yourself. I fear you are another counterfeit, and yet, by my faith, you carry yourself like a king. But you are mine, whoever you are, and this is how I win you. They fight. The king is in danger. Prince Henry enters. Hold up your head, vile Scot, or you are likely never to hold it up again. Spirits of valiant Shirley, Stafford, and Blunt are in my arms. It is the Prince of Wales who threatens you, and he never promises what he does not mean to pay. They fight. Douglas flees. Take heart, my lord. How does your grace fare? Sir Nicholas Gauzy has sent for help, and so has Clifton. I will go straight to Clifton. Stay and catch your breath a while. You have redeemed your lost reputation, and shown that you care somewhat for my life by this fine rescue you have brought me. O God, they wronged me greatly who ever said I listened for your death. If that were true, I could have left the insulting hand of Douglas over you, which would have ended you as quickly as all the poisonous potions in the world, and saved your treacherous son the labor. Go on to Clifton. I will go to Sir Nicholas Gauzy. The king exits. Hotspur enters. If I am not mistaken, you are Harry Monmouth. You speak as if I would deny my name. My name is Harry Percy. Then I see a very valiant rebel of that name. I am the Prince of Wales, and do not think, Percy, that you will share glory with me any longer. 2 stars cannot keep their course in one sphere, nor can one England endure the double rule of Harry Percy and the Prince of Wales. Nor shall it, Harry, for the hour has come to end one of us. Would to God your name and arms were now as great as mine. I will make it greater before I leave you, and all the budding honors on your crest I will crop off to make a garland for my head. I can no longer endure your boasting. They fight. Falstaff enters. Well said, Hal. At him, Hal. No, you will find no child's play here, I can tell you. Douglas enters. He fights with Falstaff, who falls down as if dead. Douglas exits. Prince Henry kills Hotspur. Oh, Harry, you have robbed me of my youth. I bear the loss of fragile life better than the proud titles you have won from me. They wound my thoughts worse than your sword wounds my flesh. The thoughts are slaves to life, and life is time's fool, and time, which surveys all the world, must have a stop. Oh, I could prophesy, but the cold earthy hand of death lies on my tongue. No, Percy, you are dust and food for. Hotspur dies. For worms, brave Percy. Farewell, great heart. Poorly woven ambition, how much you have shrunk. When this body held a spirit, a kingdom was too small to bound it, but now 2 paces of the poorest earth are room enough. This earth that bears you dead does not bear alive so stout a gentleman. If you could feel courtesy, I would not make so costly a display of kindness. But let my favours hide your mangled face, and on your behalf I will thank myself for doing these fair rites of tenderness. Farewell, and take your praise with you to heaven. Let your shame sleep with you in the grave, but not be remembered in your epitaph. Prince Henry sees Falstaff on the ground. What old acquaintance! Could not all this flesh keep in a little life? Poor Jack, farewell. I could have better spared a better man. Oh, I would miss you heavily if I were much in love with vanity. Death has not struck so fat a deer today, though many dearer men have fallen in this bloody fight. I will see you disembowelled by and by. Till then lie in blood beside noble Percy. Prince Henry exits. Falstaff rises. Disembowelled. If you disembowel me today, I will give you permission to salt me and eat me too tomorrow. God's blood, it was time to play dead, or that fiery Scot would have paid me off in full too. Counterfeit? I am no counterfeit. To die is to be a counterfeit, for a man without a man's life is only the counterfeit of a man. But to counterfeit dying, when by doing it a man lives, is no counterfeit at all, but the true and perfect image of life indeed. The better part of valor is discretion, and in that better part I have saved my life. God's wounds, I am afraid of this gunpowder Percy, though he is dead. What if he should counterfeit too and rise? By my faith I fear he would prove the better counterfeit. So I will make him certain dead, yes, and I will swear I killed him. Why may he not rise as well as I did? Nothing can disprove me but eyes, and nobody sees me. Therefore, sir, with a new wound in your thigh, come along with me. Falstaff takes Hotspur on his back. Prince Henry and Lancaster enter. Come, brother John, you have bravely fleshed your maiden sword. But wait, who do we have here? Did you not tell me this fat man was dead? I did. I saw him dead, breathless and bleeding on the ground. Are you alive? Or is some illusion playing with our eyesight? Please speak. We will not trust our eyes unless our ears confirm them. You are not what you seem. No, that is certain. I am not a double man. But if I am not Jack Falstaff, then I am a Jack indeed. There is Percy. If your father will do me any honour good. If not, let him kill the next Percy himself. I expect to be either an earl or a duke, I can assure you. Falstaff throws the body down. Why, I killed Percy myself, and I saw you dead. Did you? Lord, how this world is given to lying. I grant you, I was down and out of breath, and so was he, but we both rose at the same instant and fought a long hour by the Shrewsbury clock. If I may be believed good. If not, let those who should reward valor bear the sin on their own heads. I will swear on my death that I gave him this wound in the thigh. If the man were alive and denied it, by God's wounds, I would make him eat a piece of my sword. This is the strangest tale I ever heard. This is the strangest fellow, brother John. Come, carry your baggage nobly on your back. For my part, if a lie can bring you credit, I will gild it with the happiest words I have. A retreat is sounded. The trumpet sounds retreat. The day is ours. Come, brother, let us go to the highest part of the field, to see which friends are living and which are dead. Prince Henry and Lancaster exit. I will follow, as they say, for reward. Whoever rewards me, God reward him. If I grow great, I will grow smaller, for I will purge myself, give up sack, and live cleanly, as a nobleman should. Falstaff exits, carrying off the body. Trumpets sound. King Henry, Prince Henry, Lancaster, Westmoreland, and others enter, with Worcester and Vernon as prisoners. This is how rebellion always meets correction. Ill-minded Worcester, did we not send grace, pardon, and loving terms to all of you? Would you twist our offers into their opposite, and abuse the trust your kinsmen placed in you? 3 knights on our side who were killed today, a noble earl, and many others too, would still be alive this hour if you, like a Christian, had carried true messages honestly between our armies. What I have done, I did because my safety drove me to it. And I accept this fortune patiently, since it falls on me, and cannot now be avoided. Take Worcester away to death, and Vernon too. For the other offenders, we will stop and consider. Worcester and Vernon are led out under guard. How does the field stand? The noble Scot, Lord Douglas, when he saw the fortune of the day completely turned from him, noble Percy slain, and all his men running in fear, fled with the rest. Falling from a hill, he was so badly bruised that the pursuers captured him. The Douglas is at my tent, and I beg your grace to let me dispose of him. With all my heart. Then, brother John of Lancaster, this honourable act of generosity shall belong to you. Go to the Douglas and set him free to go where he pleases, without ransom and without charge. The valour he showed against our helmets today has taught us to cherish such high deeds, even in the heart of our enemies. I thank your grace for this great courtesy, which I will pass on immediately. Then this remains. We must divide our forces. You, son John, and my cousin Westmoreland, turn toward York with all the speed you can, to meet Northumberland and the prelate's group, who, we hear, are busily in arms. I myself, and you, son Harry, will go toward Wales, to fight Glendower and the Earl of March. Rebellion in this land shall lose its power when it meets the check of another day like this. And since this business has been so well accomplished, let us not stop until all that is ours is won. The exit.
And there King Henry IV, Part 1, ends on a one field and a made man. The wild prince has kept his word. He saved his father's life from the terrible Douglas, and met the gallant Hotspur sword to sword and killed him, the rising sun of England putting out the rising sun of the north. And there, in one of the strangest, funniest, most troubling moments in all Shakespeare, fat Falstaff, who saved his own skin by counterfeiting death upon the ground, heaves himself up, stabs the dead Hotspur in the thigh, and lugs the body off to claim the kill, while the generous prince lets the old rogue have his lie. Worcester is led off to his death, the brave Douglas freed in courtesy, and the king turns at once to the rebels still in arms in the north and west, for this victory is only the first of the day. The prince has found himself, but the reckoning with Falstaff, and the harder lessons of kingship, lie ahead in the second part. Thank you for sitting with the whole of Henry IV, Part 1. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.